Hey friends, it's Steph. I just made a tutorial on how to make my carrot Biscoff cake jars, and I thought I'd also answer a bunch of the frequently asked questions that I get about these cake jars. One of the most common questions is, surprisingly, how do you eat them? And the answer is with a fork or spoon. You just stick it in the jar and dig it. It's the same as like a yogurt parfait or applesauce that you eat out of a jar. Like, you just put your spoon, fork in there and take a bite. What do you do with these? One, make a scrap cake jar. You just crumble them up and press them into the jar using your tamp in approximately the same amount as the layers. I like to do that when I'm making these jars for an event, and I will just have the scrap jar as one for myself because, you know, the host, the cook usually gets the ugliest plate or whatever. I follow the same rules, so I'll do the scrap jar as something that I can eat myself if it's for an event that I'm attending. If they're for a gift, I will just gift the 6 good jars and keep the scraps for cake pops, which I actually don't like. So if you're a subscriber, you probably know that I never make the cake pops. But most of the time what I do is I just divide it into Tupperwares and put some buttercream on it. Basically, I meal prep cake snacks. And that's my favorite thing to do with them. They're delicious. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just the leftovers. So the answer to what do you do with the scraps is basically I eat them. Other questions: what is the size of the jars? They're 500 milliliters. How many servings? I would call this 2 servings generously. It's about the same amount of cake as 3 to 4 cupcakes. Because if you think about it, a 9 by 13 sheet cake would make 32-ish cupcakes. And we got 6 jars out of that, but there's a scrap jar. So let's say the scrap jar is 2 jars. So out of the whole sheet, we get 8 jars. 32 divided by 8 is 4. Each jar is the same as 4 cupcakes. So I would actually say that it's 4 servings, but most people, myself included, I'll eat 1 layer and then I'll put it away and then I'll come back and I'll eat the 2nd layer. Another question I get a lot is, why bother making them? 1, hello, they're so cute. 2, it's such a fun and portable way to eat cake. Like, I've made them, tossed them in my backpack, gone on a hike, tossed them in my backpack, gone to work. Tossed them in my partner's backpack, gave him a little surprise at work. I love that they're so portable. And yeah, I know you can cut up a cake and put it in Tupperwares, but it's very different having it in a jar with a resealable lid and not having to cut the cake and then put it in a Tupperware. It's kind of the same question as why do you make cupcakes? Why not just make a cake? Well, they're individual portions. You can grab one and go. Similar idea, but a little bit different. They're also beautiful, in my opinion. The jars are really nice. It's quite an aesthetic look. And they make great party favors. They were a really big hit during COVID when no one wanted to share a cake that someone else had blown candles out on. No one wanted to touch a cake to serve it. You could just pass these around, sanitize the outside if you wanted, and you had your own cake to enjoy. So that's what I love about them. That's why I make them. Do I make other flavors? Yes, of course. This is the carrot Biscoff, which is one of my most popular flavors. It's one of my favorites. It's delicious. But some of my other popular ones would be chocolate raspberry, funfetti strawberry, the s'mores one, where it's chocolate cake, toasted marshmallow filling, drizzled with ganache, and thrown in some graham cracker crunch. Amazing. So this is just part 1. And lastly, an inevitable question: why am I touching the cake with my hands? I have my safe food handling certificates. I am a woman of science. I have a biomedical engineering background, so I believe scientific literature, and science has proven over and over that proper hand washing is the most hygienic method of preparing food. So I wash my hands properly, I sanitize my surfaces properly, and that's what keeps my food safe to eat. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any more questions, and like and subscribe for more baking content.